and you add it into the list in the index to say, okay, I actually want to include that chart, and what ends up getting on the benchmarking.nodejs.org. And then it just automatically shows up from there on. So I think that's a little bit. Now I'm going to switch to, let me close that out. And I will share a different screen. I will share this guy. Hopefully that's not too big. But there I'm cat config grep bench. So then on the benchmark data machine, okay, come on. Right, oh, I did, good. So there's a benchmark user. And then if we look at what's there, there's just a cron tab set up that says, well, if you reboot me, I want you to start that bridge. And that bridge is the code that we saw that basically accepts the posts so that you can take the data and put it into the database. The chart cron, that basically just, you know, moves into the right directory and runs the shell script to generate the charts, which just runs the code that walks through the directory that has those JSON files, and, you know, based on those files, knows what to request from the database, puts it into, you know, uses those charting programs to generate the chart. Phantom.js then generates the PNG from it, and then those are put into the right directory so that the www server pulls them over the next time it looks for them. We did set up backups in that we basically, you know, take dumps of the database, and those should still be being backed up onto the CI server on a regular interval as well. So in the worst case, we should still have the data there too. So in the case of what we started talking about, you know, it's where you could commit the change, run the run the update repo so that you would then have the latest. You could then run the chart cron, basically looking at the output, and I can run that right now to make sure that it looks like it's still successfully processing and generating the PNG files. You know, alternatively, you should be able to, well, the only difficult thing is you'd have to actually get some data out of the database, right, to be able to run the chart gen separately.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern, right? Like we have this system, but if you want to make changes to it, you don't want to affect the production system, right? Like you wanna have a copy of this running somewhere so you can make a change, and then if it works, you commit it.
Right.
So
it wouldn't be that hard to set up the SQL server, and then you use the post-it to push some data into it.
Yeah, I guess we could do it all on one computer, right? Because
yeah, oh yeah, like this is all on. Yes, you could do it all in one quite easily.
And, okay, but then so then just the configuration would be different, you know, like the username, password, and location of the database would be the only difference.
Yep.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. In production, it's running on 2 different machines, right? Whereas in this case, it would be running on 1.
Yeah. The actual job that generates the data is running on a separate machine.
Yeah.
Because you know, yes, that one, because and it just pushes the data over to the other one. Now, I mean, for development, you don't really need real data, right? So you could just push the data into the SQL server on your local database machine. If that's most of what's there, you know, I think it would be a good validation of the documentation that I was pointing to as well. Like if you can read that documentation and that gives enough to fill in with what I've shown you. If not, like maybe there's more stuff we should add to that documentation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think first thing we should definitely want to fix those links, I guess, after the update.
Yeah, so that machine is, somebody renamed the machine in the inventory. You might just open an issue saying we should do that.
Yeah, okay.
It's just a matter of finding. I think it's like infra something now. And actually, it's pretty easy to find. Here, I'm going to share my. So actually, share my screen again here. I'm just going to the actual benchmark jobs because we can see which one they run on. And right, so it's now called InfraSoft Layer Ubuntu 14.04-x64-2. Yeah. So here, I'll even paste that in the chat because we should just put that in the issue too that says change the name to that one.
Okay.
So any other questions?
I just have an observation that I think I looked at it a couple of days ago, so I don't see the number for 12, but master is probably the equivalent to 12. That's what I was thinking. So I'm going to open an issue about that, and maybe hopefully one of us, Octavian or someone, can take a look at it.
Sure, yeah, that would be good. I'm looking at like this is 12 running right here. Canary comes and goes for sure.
Yeah, but I think only the Node.js. It looks like there is always some kind of disconnect always with running the MongoDB because it has multiple components and then it just sometimes it doesn't work. But it consistently not working with 12 and Canary.
Okay, because this one seems to say it's reporting some numbers. Just looking through the, well, here, let me share the screen. Even. Like this is the latest run. Just looking for any. It
So
seems published data.
Okay, so if I go with the benchmarking or chart, not just benchmarking. So I don't see number, of course, so footprint, yeah, I don't see any for the 12 and Canary. So
yeah, that's okay. So that's definitely, yeah, that's definitely worth investigating because you're right. There's no reason why there shouldn't be a number there.
Okay. Okay, so what I can do is I'll I'll talk to Octavian and see if one of us can take a look at that. So I'm going to open these two new issues.
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
And I'll also open an issue about the software update, link update. Okay.
Sounds good. Okay.
So should I go now and stop? Stop live stream?
Yeah, you can stop the live stream, or if we just close the account, that'll basically do the same thing.
Okay.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.